Alright, what's up y'all? Welcome back to Let's Play Hiveswap Friendsim for the third time. My third playthrough of Hiveswap Friendsim, in which instead of playing by myself, we're sending photos to a friend and making a commentary YouTube series out of it. Because we're, 8 volumes in, and to not finish at this point would be one of the many sins I have committed. Possible spoilers for Homestuck proper, this game, Pesterquest, some Homestuck fanfics. There's something about a number that comes after 1. Not sure what that's about, but I can't spoil something that doesn't exist. Today we're doing Chahut's route. Chahut. Pretty sure that's Miss Clown's name. Let's get through the intro, and I'll tell you a special surprise for this episode. So, part of you has always been taken with the idea of purchasing a one-way train ticket to anywhere and boarding it without looking back. Or, in your current case, stowing away without looking back. Details. The idea always seemed so idyllic. No strings, no obligations, just you and your journey, the wind in your hair, and the taste of freedom on your lips. Your little daydream didn't exactly involve careening across a perilous extraterrestrial landscape, but then you've always liked to think of yourself as the kind of person who's open to new experiences. Not to mention new friends. In practice, though, this tastes less like freedom and more like noxious muck, which is what you're currently surrounded by. Huh. It's not unlike the slime that was in Skylar's Raccoon, except that slime was weirdly soothing, and this is prickly and burny and uncomfortable. You thought you were being smart by sneaking on board, jumping into some sort of cargo carriage. Oh, how wrong you'd been. The trade-off for not being caught, then maimed and or killed for your blood color is apparently this. You almost would have preferred the maiming. God knows you're used to taking a beating by now. First drink in the intro. So yeah, it's Chahut, the big chitty clown, and my special surprise is, remember, I think an episode or two ago I mentioned how I never tried Faygo, and how I was going to buy some after work that night and try it. Well, I forgot to bring it in because I was ashamed to bring it into the house when people could see me, for no multitude of reasons. But I have it. It's still cold. It was left in my car for 2 days, but it's perfectly sealed, and it's not, it's fall, so it's not hot here. So, on, not camera, but on mic, real quick, you're going to get to hear my first-hand reaction to drinking a raspberry blueberry Faygo. So let's open this up. I'm about to apologize for the soda sound. It wasn't as loud as it could be. Definitely had louder sodas. That smells like just straight syrup. Not as bad as I was expecting, but still pretty bad. It tastes like just drinking syrup. Is this just syrup? Yeah. There's no caffeine in here. It's just sugar and syrup and water. So now I have 24 ounces of Faygo I'll have to drink at some point, because otherwise it'd be a waste of $1. Who knows, if you hear me gagging throughout the episode, it means I took a sip. But let's meet a clown lady. Actually, let me turn up the music just a little bit. I do enjoy the music, so let's just... The honk has no right to be as good in this song as it is. I think it's in the song, but whatever. Your gown flutters around you as you hop off the train. You feel like a very grimy Disney princess with no shoes. Just a deranged Cinderella who left both glass slippers on the castle steps. Before you can decide in which direction to continue your merry jaunt, it's decided for you. is in a small bluish missile, slams into your midsection, and sends you tumbling down the hill behind the train tracks, rolling over and over, and goddamn do you hope you don't kill anyone with your ass. Especially not yourself. You land with a hard thwack on your back. Hey, it is you! The concussion you just sustained must be giving you serious friend hallucinations. Sorry I hugged you so hard I pushed you down a hill. I forgot how weak and flimsy you are. You take Amesia's offered hand, albeit nervously. You kinda skipped out on her back there, waiting until she was in the ablution trap and then escaping from her murder studio. She creeps into frame. You've been so naive back then. You didn't know about recruit raccoons or grub cakes or hate dating, and oh god, that is a giant murder clown, isn't it? Wow. She's even bigger than the adult you saw at the bandit lair. God, why? Why, whenever you think you've met the biggest, meanest bastard this place has to offer, it offers up another bigger, meaner one. Without thinking, you put yourself between Amesia and the purple blood. Pretty dumb, considering Amesia can pick you up with one hand, but you've just rolled down a hill and you aren't at peak performance. Chahut! It's about time! This is the one I was telling you about! The one with the precious, precious blood! There she is. I was supposed to figure out how to voice her. Oh, I had a whole ass night to do it. Oh well. The purple blood's slow, lazy smile somehow makes her face paint even more terrifying. She moseys closer, towering over you. A true pleasure, small thing. Any friend of Little Blue is a friend of mine, especially one who looks so pretty on the newest page of my scrapbook. Your stomach is dissolving into acid fear. Amesia stamps her foot. Don't make murder jokes. My friend is very delicate. You nod furiously. You are so delicate, just a whiff of murder gives you the vapors. Peace and gospel, Little Blue. I was only playing. Besides, Noah mowed a bit of fun. Ain't it a fair bit hypocritical, lecturing me, considering what you were getting up to the first time you and I got to John? Ripping off heads and all? Amesia goes blue. Chahut winks and you experience another spasm of fear. You clench your fists so she can't see your hands are shaking. Time to talk about my fanfic again real quick. And actually, there's a shopping montage chapter. I believe it's chapter 5. And Chahut and Amesia run a little thrift store, which I think is really fun. To distract yourself, you ask if she and Amesia are Moirels. You figure that's always the safest one to start with. Safer than, so do you guys hate fuck a lot? Chahut starts grinning again, and Amesia blushes even harder. No, silly, of course not. I'm way too young for quadrants. Know a couple of motherfuckers that started younger than you, Little Blue. Still, there's no point. I mean, you're leaving in a couple pedigrees. Her second you, she left it behind. Amesia stares at the ground sadly for a few seconds before she gets herself back together. But that's why tonight is going to be the best! Our final hunt! And I'm so glad you're here too! She beams up at you. You try to smile back, maybe achieving half a grimace. When Chahut leans over Amesia, it's with a certain menacing fondness. Sounds like a party, my most vicious sister. Only you got us a smidge of a scheduling conflict. Huh? The mask goes tonight, Little Blue. Last massacre lost sea planet side. I gotta present my glutes and testify before my most merciful messiahs for the last time. Her tea. You sure didn't get any of that. Every time you think your days of unbounded ignorance are behind you, you turn over a stone to find more of that little squirming bits of cultural miasma stuck in it. To suck in. Wow, I did not read that right. Amesia rolls her eyes. More church? That's seriously all you ever do. Sister, we talked about this. To praise the merciful ones is a privilege and a revelation. My pusher beats for them. It smashes its way through the desolate cage of my thoracic struts. Yeah, I know. You love clown church. You love it so much you should just put it in a quadrant. Jesus, Amicia. Maybe don't shout at the scary giant clown lady. Chahut puts a giant hand on Amicia's head, ruffling her hair like she's an angry puppy. Simmer it down, girl. Good news is, we got us a tiebreaker. She means you, doesn't she? More decisions? Usually we strive for it. But today, it's all up to you, stranger. This one I do actually remember most of the bad endings. I can only get 2. I don't know why I said it like that. So let's say that church, I've only been at a church once. I've been at a church twice. Once I was attending a actual sermon. I was a young child, and I ended up leaving partway through to go hang out in the kids' room. And the second time was for a wedding. My family, as you can tell, is not religious. Thought it was a fun fact. So, church sucks. Religious stuff is kind of over your head. Besides, you should really stick with the friend who has a vested interest in keeping you alive, rather than the menacingly non-committal clown lady. All of your recent experiences with Purple Bloods have been, well, bad. You were so right. See, Chahut? My friend is no dummy. Chahut's eyes gleam, and for one eerie moment, you think she's just gonna reach down and crush Amicia's skull, or yank out her windpipe, or some other mega violence. But instead, she just shrugs her giant shoulders. Well, that's what happens when you allow for the democratic process. Lead the way. Crap, that's right. If you aren't going to church, you're going on a final hunt. And knowing Amicia, you aren't going to be duck hunting. Also, you don't think the splatters on Chahut's pants are paint. Well, they are paint, but Amicia style paint. Yay! Come on, quick! I got something to show you. She takes off the steep hill back toward the train tracks. Oh man, you are seriously not dressed for all this clamoring. Chahut appears to notice this too. She's so close to the screen. Because a few steps later, your feet leave the ground and you find yourself cradled to the considerable bosom of a large clown. Up close, she smells like sugar and blood. She does have good eyeliner game, though. I also think her teeth, these teeth right here, may or may not be made out of horns. Just saying. No struggling now, sweet thing. Better pray that I don't drop you. Oh, I forgot. You don't pray. Because church sucks. You don't like this. Well, you like not having to walk, and it's pretty cool that she can lift you like you're a tiny baby, but also, you're probably gonna die. You are so busy freaking the fuck out that at first you don't realize that Chahut has carried you past the train tracks to a stand of trees. Oh. Oh no. There she is. Ta-da! Amicia gestures like she's a presenter on a game show, but instead of showing you a dope new car, she points to a boy hanging from a rope by his feet, swinging back and forth as he desperately tries to free himself. I'm pretty sure this is the background that shows up in Pesterquest, and the reader makes a remark of, I think I might have mentioned this last time I saw these trees. The reader makes a remark about like feeling familiar here, and I nearly cried. Chahut, you were so right! Using traps is a total time saver! I'm all about those life hacks. And other kind of hacks. Oh, there's so much blood. Why is it always bronze? Is this punishment from the universe for thinking about my own bronze blood so much? She lifts her axe. The troll hanging from the tree screams, and that scream becomes a gurgle, which becomes ringing silence as his head leaves his body, spewing brown blood. It rolls to a stop right at your feet. Oh God. You've had enough of this horse shit. Why can't anybody on this goddamn planet find an ounce of chill? Amnesia and Chahut watch you expectantly. What, do they want you to kick the head like this is the sports? Give it a smooch? You know what? Fuck this. Just a nutcracker voice. You know what? Fuck this. You turn and stalk off into the woods. This time, you are orchestrating your own failure. The reader is done with murder. No murder today. They're sick of it. They're gonna go live in the woods. You couldn't see me flip my hair, but just imagine I flipped a bunch of hair. We're back on the blood warnings. You know, the safety could only last forever. The bronze star reminded me that hopefully I'm gonna get a plushie of Claire soon. Well, not hopefully. I know I'm gonna get a plushie of Claire. Hopefully it's soon. It might be a little bit. Definitely before the series is over. And past me, you've been needing to show a picture of Claire for months. Not months, it's been like a month and a half, for a while. So hopefully once that's done, I can show you guys. So, in the meantime, take me to Clown Church. You don't know much about religion, but you have recently become pretty good at reading people. You have the slightest little suspicion that insulting this woman's religion might be unhealthy. Besides, it would be rude. This time when Chahut turns her painted face to you and gives you another one of those lazy smiles, you are filled with a sudden flush of excitement. God, what if you become friends with her? You've never had a friend this cool or this scary. Amnesia rolls her eyes. Fine. I'm fine, I guess. Doing totally boring stuff. You wonder if it's really okay for you to come with Chahut. Isn't she worried about showing up with an alien? In the past, I might have got to worrying over it, but now, fuck it. What are they about to do? Call me? Might thank them for that. Doing a sister a solid and saving me from having to set foot in the filthy reaches of space, where I hear they don't follow the good word as close as they should. None of the motherfuckers here have the globes to step to me. Your tea. So you should be safe. With me on your side, not even one of those slippery fishes would do shit. Slippery fishes? Does she mean sea dwellers? You've never actually seen one, which makes sense since they dwell in the sea, but most people seem to be scared of them. You wonder how much higher in caste they are from the clowns. You wonder what they look like. There are still so many things you don't know, and that you won't find out in this game. You've never been in a church before, but you've seen them in movies and goth music videos, so you know what to expect. Clown Church is not that. A wipe to Clown Church. I do think the aesthetics in here kick ass. Just saying. They do kick ass. Is my phone. They do kick ass. Sorry, it'll be like a second for you, but just give me a moment. Alright, thanks for the patience you didn't necessarily need. I just have work tonight and I wanted to make sure it wasn't my boss. So, there are no pews or statues or a sad dude hanging from two perpendicular sticks. But there's an altar and a lot of purple candles and rows of flimsy metal fold-out chairs. The same sugary smell that hangs around Chahut fills the place. Someone took stained glass a little too seriously when they decorated, because every inch of window is covered in multicolored... God, why even fronts anymore? Every inch is covered in blood. Splatters of it paint the floor and stone walls. It reminds you of that break room after Connell got done murdering all those kids. Except this seems deliberate. Like they decided they wanted a little bit of yellow in the corner, so they walked some poor gold blood over and gutted them. Welcome to your salvation, little one. You almost run out. But no, you can't. You need to make friends with Chahut. You hang on to that as you follow her to the front of the congregation. Sorry, we're going to move Chahut out of the way, because I don't want to spoil it. But go read Alternate Universe by Unda. I'll link... There will be a link somewhere at some point, whenever I remember to put it on there. Go read it. Anyway. As you pass, various other clowns send out honks of greetings, accompanied by the occasional whoop whoop. Chahut responds to a couple with a casual, hey motherfuckers, but most she ignores. Maybe she's too cool for them. You try not to make eye contact with anyone as you go by, or if you happen to look at anyone, you try to throw out the most intense, I'm with her vibes that you can. Excuse me, a couple trolls look as out of place as you do. Okay, not as out of place, since they are actually from this planet, but there's some non-purple guys here who look distinctly uncomfortable. A few of them appear to be chained to their chairs. Cool. A purple blood is standing on a platform at the front of the congregation and preaching? Rapping? Whatever it is, it sucks. There's a lot of uninventive swearing and weirdly synopticated honks. I don't know what that means. I don't have my phone to Google it. Everyone here is extremely into it. There's a lot of answering whoops and fuck yes. All Chahut has to do is stand there and smirk at him, and he trails off into a nasally honk before scrambling off the church stage. You really wish you knew how to command with that kind of respect. Then everybody would want to be your friend. Thanks, brothers and sisters. Today is a singular sort of day. For today I looked up toward the mountain and saw the fire in the sky. That fire is our messiahs, and our messiahs are the fire, feeding a hungry forge in the belly of hell, that sweet salvation of split bone and sulphur-colored eyes. Was it the heat of eternal damnation, or the sweet flame of revelation? All is red ruin. Woe is us, darlings. Whoa. It goes on like that for a while. You zone out a little bit. Someone throws a handful of powder into the candle flames, and one of that sugary, sharp scent puffs out as colorful smoke billows up. Their purple bloods all start taking deep whiffs of the stuff. It kind of looks like the powder in pixie sticks. Newest member of our congregation. Pixie sticks. Maybe that's why it smells like sugar in here. Invite them to stand up and give glorious thanks. The whole congregation has gone silent. You realize that Chahut is looking at you. And the other clown priest is looking at you. Actually, every single goddamn troll in here is looking at you. Except for one small dude who appears to be trying to chew off his own hand to free himself from his shackle. Your turn to testify. Don't fuck this up, little one. So, this is where we're gonna get a bad ending. So I'm gonna take a swig of Fago to prepare to die. God, that sucks every time. I like sugary stuff, but if I become desensitized to it, I'm going to blame Homestuck. So let's preach. Oh shit. They want you to talk? About what? All that stuff Chahut and the other troll were saying, it just sounded like a bunch of bullshit? So that's what you give them. Just bullshit. Reams and reams of fresh, non-GMO, cave-aged bullshit. Honestly, you aren't totally sure what you say. Maybe some stuff about parting the sea, loaves and fishes, a dome and a rock. You throw a couple whoop-whoops in there for effect, hoping nobody accuses you of cultural appropriation. Luckily, the crowd is feeling it. They all honk and echo what you say, even the cultural allusions they can't possibly understand. They take turns swigging Fago from the communal chalice, passing it around. I'm just going to take a sip every time they mention Fago. It's not even that it tastes bad. It just feels... I mean, it tastes too sugary. It just feels weird going down. You can't help glancing over at Chahut every so often. Sure, all those weirdos are catching what you're throwing, but she's the one whose opinion you actually care about. She's your current friendship target. She's nodding in approval, occasionally crossing her hands over her chest in what looks like kind of like a gang symbol, but may just be a religious gesture. You finish with something about foxes and the jaws of the universe, the convergence of fate, and the cyclical nature of reality. Time is a flat circle. You think you're actually filled with the spirit? Whatever the fuck that means. It could just be that weird smoke. No, I didn't make a mistake when I put my faith in you, little one. She pushes several dudes out of the way to lean over you, and you don't feel fear now so much as intense pride. Damn, but it feels good to have 50 clowns honking at you for pulling something straight out of your ass. Little one is kind of creepy, and you'd wish she stopped saying it, but you guess it's accurate. You are little compared to her, and there is only one of you. Come here, darling. Oh, that's an upgrade, darling. That's friendly. Get up here. Up? How? 2 younger purple bloods grab you by the legs. Oh. The church sways around you, and you find yourself at clown height, face to face with Chahut. Up close, you can see the cracks in her makeup, and it might be the light in here, but her yellow eyes look tinted purple. She pulls you close, one giant claw tripping your chin up. She's so close. She leans in, and your whole body flashes hot. Oh god, You brace for those big clown lips. Instead, Chahut clamps her hand over your mouth. You jerk as your air supply is promptly cut off. The clowns holding you up stagger until you remember that you can breathe through your nose. You see something out of your peripheral vision, then something sticky and cold is sprayed onto your cheek, an acrid stench making you choke. You struggle, but the clowns don't let you go. Chahut sprays something on the other side of your face. You feel it sinking tacky and stinging into the skin of your cheeks. She releases you for a moment and switches the can of spray paint to her other hand. What the hell? Is that even supposed to be used on skin? Probably not. Hold still, darling. She takes another can from a nearby troll and paints a line across your forehead, her own brow furrowing in concentration. You know what she's doing. She's baptizing you, covering you in the paint of her people. You are being initiated. You can hardly believe it. Tears threaten at the corner of your eyes as you realize you are actually becoming part of a group. Someone on this terrible planet is actually letting you into their inner circle. Even if it is a circle of shitty clowns who go around murdering people and drinking the worst soda in the galaxy. Don't get too overcome now, small thing. I don't really even know what you are or where something like you came from. But I can feel the spirit flowing through those alien veins of yours. It's fucking godly, my little one. Amazing! This is so good. Anyone who initiates you into their weird cult definitely wants to get all up in your friendship grill. Chahut paints another line, this time over your nose. The paint is starting to sting. The paint on your forehead especially. Oh wait, that's not paint, that's... Chahut drops the spray can. She's looking at her fingers. Oh no. You've seen that expression before. On someone bluer and much shorter. Deep crimson drips off her claw. After weeks of rainbow blood, your own blood color looks strange to you. Now that you think about it, it's been a while since you've seen your own blood. Wild. You must be getting better survival instincts. Precious blood. Precious indeed, sister. The 2 other purple bloods put you down with subservient honks. All of the other clans here treat Chahut with a reverence bordering on awe. Is it because she's the oldest? Or the largest? Or maybe just the most badass? Excuse me. Your feet barely hit the floor before Chahut takes you by the hand. You smile up at her, happy to go anywhere she leads. Friendship feels so good, especially with people who are bigger and stronger and cooler than you are, which is basically everyone on this planet. But Chahut is especially strong and cool. You're so busy feeling great about your new elite status that at first you don't realize what's happening, where Chahut is leading you. It's to a corner of the church. It's a little more bare than other spots. As in, there isn't as much blood. As in, it's the perfect canvas for some fresh blood. Some precious, precious mutant blood. You don't know why Chahut didn't go for you right when you met. Maybe the time wasn't right. Maybe the sight of your red stuff has triggered something in her murder troll hindbrain. Regardless, you get the feeling you're about to be reunited with the color of your blood quite suddenly and thoroughly. Wait, you thought you were getting initiated? Hell yeah. You're an initiate, my dazzling crimson darling. Initiate of the rarest and most laudable power. A blood initiate. A sacrificial bar beast. You ain't gonna get a better offer than that. Well, when she puts it like that, nope, you would still rather not die. But you're going to anyways, because this is a bad ending. I'm going to clear my mouth of Faygo real quick. I have barely made a dent in this bottle. I had a thought. I'm just going to put it here so it doesn't get lost in my rambles. Or actually, no. I'll save it. Don't have me stretching. I'll save it for the end. So, yeah, we're about to die. It happens. Let's go get that good ending, and then I'll tell you a cool fun fact. Because we are going to wimp out. You stand there in the cacophony of honks and whoops, trying to dredge up a little spirit inside you, but you just can't. All that noise sounds so much like cheering, and you think you'd have gotten used to negative reinforcement, but apparently it's still enough to trip you up. You open your mouth, and all that comes out is a croak. Like you're a frog. A frog of failure. Chahut's big hand lands on your shoulder. She looks wistful through the crown paint. That's okay, hon. Sit down before you strain something. In case and if you just slay shame, you do. God, why couldn't you have kept it together for once in your pathetic life? The clown next to you gives you a consoling pat on the knee and offers you a half-empty bottle of Faygo. You're so despondent that you barely cast a thought to juggalo germs, or the fact that Faygo is disgusting. So soon. So soon. That was 2 gulps for 2 mentions of Faygo. This is a new challenge. It hits your taste buds like a bitch slap. Around you, the congregation is getting rowdier. The troll beside you shrugs his shoulder like, what can you do? He has a hat and a charming smile. At least, you think he does? You're starting to feel a little weird. Faygo is an alcoholic, is it? It's not. Wait, is that? I don't remember Mr. Titty Clown. I don't remember his name. I just know in my head as Mr. Titty Clown. I would go easy on that stuff if I were you, the troll says. His hand hasn't left your leg. In fact, it's moved from your knee to your thigh. The first time is always rough. Whatever. You're fine. You know all about controlled substances. You're really good at drugs, okay? You're a serious drugger. Druggist? For real though, what is in this stuff? You got high with Tirava and tipsy with Chixie. That rhymes. She should put that in next rap. But this is different. This is your brain blowing wide open and the atmosphere pouring in. This is the cosmos kissing your frontal lobe with way too much tongue. Hey, this is my supplicant. Maybe find your own. Chahut is sitting next to you again. She removes the clown guy's hand from your thigh and extricates the bottle from your grip. Hey, you weren't done with that. On the other side of the church, someone throws another handful of colorful powder onto the fire. More smoke billows up, and you feel another wave of dizziness. Maybe it's the interaction of the Faygo and the smoke? Is that how science works? In this universe, it is. It is so blue. It's so blue. Such bad form, says the troll who'd given you the Fago. Bring an alien to your last massacre. One would think you had no respect for your messiahs at all. I'm not drinking at that time. I think, brothers and sisters, that I might agree with that. Oh, how do I do a big clown voice? No, I can't. A voice rings out across the church. At first, you'd think it's in your head, the product of whatever weird soup all the competing substances have created, but everybody else hears it too. Chahut goes rigid beside you, her big, vicious mouth stretched into an O of shock. The congregation falls to its knees in a clattering wave. Seriously, you've never heard a crowd of people go quiet so loudly. Chairs are kicked out of the way or knocked over. Excuse me. Kneeling down, Chahut's head comes up to your chest. She and the clown in the hat push on one of your shoulders. Motherfucker, get down. You hit the deck. You half expect the blood splatters to seep through your dress, but it just crusts flaky and dry underneath your knees. You! Sister. That your alien? Where the hell is that voice coming from? It's deep and gravelly and probably male? I forgot my, character voice warning. Whoops. Oh, hold up. What you initially thought was one of Ramilay's knockoff paintings hidden behind the altar turns out to be a scream, which is now turned into a gray silhouette with horns. Is everybody here bowing to some dude who literally Skyped into Clown Church? It doesn't even have a usurpic? Your Excellency, I wouldn't describe him as my alien exactly. A little too pathetic to really put much bother to. There's a murmur of agreement from the surrounding trolls. Dang, tough crowd. A long snort of breath crackles into the static. Who are you to say who or what is pathetic? Chahut winces. You're all feckless wrigglers without a bean in your think pants. All of the lowbloods in here look absolutely terrified, which is nothing new, but for once they aren't the only ones. Everyone here is afraid, the purple guys included. You come closer, little heretic. Let me get a gander. Me? I went southern there for a second. Who? What the fuck you mean, who, sister? The motherfucker I'm jabbing my point stump at. You and Chahut share a quick, nervous glance. Her throat bobs visibly. Sir, I think you got your webcam turned off. Oh, dang, hold up. You hear a lot of rustling and swearing. All of you hang in the awkward limbo of an old person struggling with technology. Oh, there he is, the scariest motherfucker on the planet! Except he's not on the planet because he's in space! Probably! The screen flickers and you can just make out a pair of hulking shoulders. Sir, you've got the light behind you. Never mind the light, motherfucker, you. The homeless one in the rumpus robe. Come closer, child. You. Oh, you. Of course it's you. Being the main character is exhausting. You move closer to the altar, although you aren't actually sure where the camera is. This guy is someone. You would be able to tell that even if everyone in here wasn't bowing to him. His voice has a certain quality to it. That's close enough. I'm not trying to look up your sniff nub. Child, you got any notion as to who I fucking am? None. Except that he is possibly important. It's always a real good time when important people get interested in your insignificant ass. I decide whose ass is insignificant in this house, you comprehend? Sure. Sir. Excellency? How long you been rambling amongst my brethren? At least a couple weeks? No more than a month. How many are here with you? Just you. An alien invasion force of one. I'm just wandering the countryside. And still pulling in oxygen. Would have thought someone would have picked their attention with you by now. Same. Same. You got any muscle definition, Wriggler? We filmed the gun show. As in, you show him how very empty the weapons locker is. Too weak for the front lines, too ugly to feel pale with. He laughs, low and lecherous. Although your strut sticks ain't so bad. Oh. Did a giant clown just say you have nice legs over troll FaceTime? He did. You look at Chahut for help, but she's too busy checking out your games. Sober. You might have been uncomfortable. Fago drunk, you was pretty zen about it. You're sure it's only a matter of time before you fuck an alien? If it's gotta be a big giant clown, well, so be it. It didn't make the noise I was hoping it would. It just coats your entire mouth. Shooting high, aren't you? And now you just feel silly. You assure this guy that you aren't really after that kind of stuff. There's only one thing you really, truly long for in this world. And what's that, child? Power, wealth, the right to keep living. Yikes. You realize that everyone in this goddamn church is looking at you, waiting for your answer. Chahut looks like she wants to grab your shoulders and shake you. Jeez, no pressure. Friendship, you tell him. He laughs long and hearty at that one. You weather it stoically. You, bigger and significantly more attractive motherfucker. Chahut comes to attention. What's your caste name, child? Mayonnaise, Excellency. If I understand rightly, you're about to undergo the ordeals? Chahut nods. She looks a little seasick. You're not sure what the ordeals are, but everything about them sounds bad, including the name. Yeah, ordeals is kind of spooky. I'm sure I have to... Don't let me think about the link route. Excuse me. Maybe get your shit shot with this one right here. They seem to have a strategy for surviving against all reasonable odds and decency. You'll probably use a friend like them. He jabs another big finger at you. And Wriggler? Yeah? Don't let me see your face again. The call disconnects, and the screen goes blank. When you point yourself toward the front of the church, everyone scrambles to get out of your way. It's like the big clown's attention has conveyed some honorary status on you. Probably no one will mess with you for, a half hour at least. You aren't really going anywhere. You just need some fresh air before you pass out. Chahut emerges soon after. She looks nearly as winded as you feel. He'd ask her if she's mad at you, since that could be potentially dangerous for your life and your burgeoning friendship. Mad? Why would I be mad? Because your inexplicably magnetic charm worked on both my best girl and the figurehead of my church? You flush. The real question is, did it work on her? Chahut sighs. What the hell? Old motherfucker told me to listen to whatever it is you can teach. Right, he did! That basically makes the two of you friends by Socratic decree. Guess so. So, darling, teach me your ways. Well, first of all, you gotta fall down a lot. Yay! Get to hold hands with the big genie. So yeah, that was Chahut's episode. That was a fun one. I vaguely figured out how to do a voice. Got to see the biggest clown in the whole fucking galaxy. Kind of. Didn't want to commit to drawing him. It's also a very small screen, so that's understandable. Oh, my back. I drank more Fago than I ever wanted to in my life, and I've barely made a dent in this bottle. The thing I want to talk about earlier. So I was thinking, and I think between this game and Pesterquest, I'm going to do a little proper Hiveswap playthrough, just because, I guess. I might break it into 2 episodes. I might not. We're still probably... I have to look now. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-ish weeks out. So that's, what, over 2 months? But yeah, I think I'm going to do a Hiveswap, like a proper Hiveswap Let's Play. And then we'll move on to Pesterquest. But that's 10 weeks away. Talked to a big titty clown. Had a good time. Died a little bit. I have to go get ready for work, as I so often do. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!